Hi, my name is James Benham, and I'm the author of Be Your Own VC, 10 Bootstrapping Principles to Generate Cash and Keep Control. Today, I'm excited to share with you why having a bootstrapping mindset is important for your business. If you're not familiar with the term bootstrapping, it essentially means starting a company without taking on any outside funding or investment. It's the idea of acting lean and building what you have to so you can eventually build what you want to. But bootstrapping is not only for entrepreneurs. To me, bootstrapping is a mindset that can also be applied to systems within companies. I refer to employees within a company who want to start new programs or ideas as corporate innovators. And these corporate innovators can certainly apply a bootstrapping mindset to getting these initiatives off the ground. Before I dive further into the topic of bootstrapping, I want to give you a quick overview of my background and experience so you understand where I'm coming from. I was born and raised in Louisiana, but came over to Texas to go to Texas A&M and get a degree in accounting and a master's in business. After doing 2 internships, I decided that the large company consulting track was really not for me. And so I decided to start a business in my dorm room in 2001. It's the same business I'm still running today. We've got over 280 employees, and we build insurance software for some of the largest insurance companies on the planet. It all began, though, 22 years ago with website development. It's what we had to build that we could get land projects to do. So we built hundreds of websites and then built custom software for a bunch of different industries. And then we used all the profit from those projects to build some products and to also expand our service offerings. We eventually were able to grow to a team of 8 and then 15 and then 30 and then 80 people. We expanded by opening offices in Argentina and South Africa. And today we still have offices in those countries. The bootstrapping mindset really came, though, from my father, who had to bootstrap out of his house back in the 1960s when he graduated from college. He ended up starting and selling over 4 companies in various fields, all using his own resources. So the real challenge with bootstrapping is that you have to take a longer, slower, harder road because you have to generate a business that generates cash flow, and then you use that cash flow to build the other business that you really want to build. So it's almost building a self-running machine is really what it comes down to. So for us, JB Knowledge has been the mothership that's powered this entity all along. In 2006, we had the fortune to start a construction bidding platform called SmartBid that we ran and operated for 12 years until we sold it in 2018 to one of our largest competitors. Then we also started 2 insurance products called Smart Compliance and Terra, and that's what we're running today. Smart Compliance is a certificate of insurance tracking platform, and Terra is an insurance claims and policy system. We just released the book, Be Your Own VC, back in November of 2022. It's already made the Amazon bestseller list, and it talks about the 10 core bootstrapping principles that really helped us take a business from a $5,000 loan in a dorm room to 3 countries and hundreds of employees and some really great exits. For today's episode, though, I wanted to focus on the 10 principles that I just mentioned that we believe can be applied to any business, whether you're an entrepreneur or corporate innovator. For today's episode, I'm going to share 3 of those principles to help show you why having a bootstrapping mindset is important for your business. Bootstrapping principle number 1 that I'd really like to focus on, especially right now with how people are trying to conserve this, is cash. Cash is king. Principle number 1. Nothing beats cash on hand, especially in an economic disruption like we're having right now. To build a sustainable business, you have to seek opportunities to generate recurring cash with low overhead. I definitely learned the phrase cash is king from my dad. He told me that my whole life growing up. He was an ardent anti-debt guy, really, really focused on that. We'll talk about that in a second. And one of the key principles that he espoused was to make sure you had plenty of cash on hand. I think all businesses should keep multiple months of cash on hand so that they can deal with emergencies. And we saw this happen with COVID. When COVID shut a lot of businesses down, a lot of them weren't keeping appropriate cash reserves on hand. And so that was a really big deterrent to them operating, and certainly a deterrent to them innovating. So you've got to be prepared for worst case scenarios. And there's really no more worst case scenario than the entire economy shutting down like it did in 2020. And so there were some critical times when having cash on hand was big for us, like 2008 when Lehman Brothers collapsed and the economy started to completely crater. We had paid off our debt and we had cash on hand. And so we were able to make key investment decisions and hire people that were getting laid off because we had the money to do so. And we were able to act quickly and move quickly on office space that was forfeited and on furniture that became available. Having cash is really just an amazing, amazing asset. Bootstrapping principle number 2 is to get out of and stay out of debt. I really believe in using debt as a very strategic tool, but using it as little as possible and pay it off as fast as possible. When your revenue declines, debt has no sympathy and just cannot be cut out as quickly as expenses can be. And so I think it's really important that you look at debt as a really strategic tool to buy equipment, maybe real estate, but you've got to use it very sparingly, personally and professionally, and have a plan on paying it off. When I took Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University and was really impressed with the debt snowball, and it really helped me to eliminate a lot of debt, and was eventually able to pay everything off even before I had real income to speak of. So, a lot of businesses never really get off the ground because they have too much debt, or they get burdened with debt along the way. And then when a downturn hits, they have to keep making those debt payments, and it goes downhill. I definitely learned this lesson in my first business when I was 12, my lawn mowing business. My dad lent me the money to buy the lawnmower, then made me pay all of it off before he'd let me keep any money. So it was a good lesson. Bootstrapping principle number 3 is to build what you have to so you can build what you want to. This is like the core mantra of bootstrapping, is building some things that you might not be super passionate about and love, but that you can do and you're good at, that generate the cash flow to build the thing you really love. It will take time to build your dream business if you want to maintain control of it. If you don't want to sell the majority of your company or the controlling interest of your company to investor groups, you've got to figure out what you have to build to earn revenue and net and cover expenses now so you can generate a profit to build your vision later. Tons of business ideas have a really big problem with getting off the ground because, number one, they fail to pivot their solution to what the market needs and will pay for right now. So the original idea ends up not being the thing that people are willing to pay money for. So you have to pivot, but they run out of money and they run out of cash flow before they get to that pivot. Number 2, they spend too much time and money building their offering before proving it through sales. And so you've got to really focus on selling early, getting the concept in front of prospects and customers early, getting commitments early, getting buy-in, and refining the vision. Because a big part of bootstrapping is making your mistakes small. And you can't make your mistakes small if you spend $3 or $4 million to test every hypothesis. You've got to spend $30,000 or $40,000 to test every hypothesis. So that's a big part of it. That's also, why this core principle of building what you have to so you can build what you want to is why we have a core service business that generates a fairly consistent profit that feeds the ability for us to invest in products. That combination of service and product can be really powerful. With these 3 principles in mind, you have the starting foundation of bootstrapping, and I hope you can see now why having a bootstrapping mindset is so important for your business. If you'd like to explore the topic further, please purchase a copy of the book, Be Your Own VC, on Amazon. I'd also like you to please feel free to reach out and connect with me on LinkedIn. You can hit me up under James Benham and send me a message. Thank you for listening. Now go start bootstrapping.